afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, 20th of June, is World Refugee Day. Today, we are reaching out to the 42 million people who have been displaced by war, conflict, human rights abuses, and who are forced to flee their homes, crossing borders, moving to other countries, or staying in other places in their own country. But today I would also like to welcome in particular the refugees here among us, because I also would like today to pay tribute, to recognize their efforts to make a difference here in Japan, to start a new life. It is not compassion, it is not charity that we are looking for today, but rather it's dignity, it's hope, it's respect, opportunities for a new future. So, for us here today, whether UNHCR, whether NGOs, whether the general public, it is for us to think about how we can create those opportunities for the refugees. How can we welcome them? How can we give them an opportunity to learn the language, to learn your rich culture, to provide them a home, to provide them a job? And I think in turn, refugees will also make a very big contribution to your communities, at a personal level, but also at the community level. It will be an enriching experience. I think for the last several months, the work of UNHCR has been very difficult. I think you all have watched over the news the crisis, the emergency in northwestern Pakistan, where in a matter of weeks, months, 2.4 million people, try to imagine, 2.4 million people have moved and left their homes. In Sri Lanka, at the end of the conflict now, we have 300,000 displaced people. In Somalia, we're facing the biggest and largest humanitarian crisis in Africa, with 1.3 million people internally displaced and about 500,000 people across the border, primarily in Kenya. There the challenge is, how do we, as NGOs, as UNHCR, as donor governments, respond to these crises? That is one of the challenges that we have to think about today. But also, what I would like to emphasize today is that working on behalf of refugees, providing humanitarian assistance is not without its risks and dangers. I just also want to pay tribute today and recognize the lives that have passed of humanitarian workers over the last several months. For UNHCR, we have lost 2 staff in the last 5 months. One, quite recently, in the beginning of this month, in the bombing in Pakistan. Our colleague does not only leave behind a wife and 3 children, but also the millions of displaced people, which he himself wanted to assist and go to Pakistan for. So let us also think about our colleagues who have left their lives in recent months. But I also want to emphasize some positive developments. And I think, especially in Sudan, we see more and more people going back home, which is very important. In Afghanistan, we have 4.3 million people who have returned home, rebuilding their country. And I think encouraging people to start a new life will be very key and very important. So basically today, on behalf of my colleagues, on behalf of everybody who works with and for refugees, I would like to make an appeal. I would like to appeal to you, to the general public here in Japan, not to close your eyes when you see people fleeing their homes, not to close your minds about the suffering they face. I think if we have a better understanding of the plight, we can reach out and make a difference. And I think that's the other part I want to appeal at, is look at ways on how you and us can make a difference together. Several sessions today will talk and be illustrations of how different people, as individuals or as companies, have contributed towards alleviating the life of refugees, of helping them. And I think some of those examples are very unique, and I think it follows out the deep personal commitment of these people. And I think I'm very happy that we were able to witness those experiences today, and that we also can learn lessons from them and be motivated to be engaged, to be creative on how we can work together. So on that, I really would like to thank everybody to come today, in particular the refugees, but also want to thank all the people who over the last year worked on behalf of refugees and helped make a difference. So thank you very much.